Hey y'all. This is Dr. A jumping on. Let's see, do I want I think the lighting is good. So hey y'all, I'm not gonna be on here long. Just left from service. I got out the house today and actually did service here in Houston, and we're having me some food, so I have a few minutes. Hey Felicia, I got your text, thanks for sending it. So yeah, hey everybody, I'm just jumping on with a quick pop-up. So hey right now to all the replay viewers, trying to get back in the swing of things, right? It's kind of hard when I'm traveling on the road, got a lot of movement. I'm kind of present in social media, but not really. Okay, so anyway, I want to just say hey, and I did this pop-up, and I titled this pop-up Believe. So I think I've seen a couple excellence come on right quick. Y'all share this in the members hub and in the power leaders group and with our big sis. So share this in our group, y'all. So listen, what I wanted to say is I said believe, and this was really heavy on me because we are in a time where, like, simply, if you believe, if you just believe the word of God, if you just believe the promises of God, if you just believe what God has told you is coming to full manifestation. And so there's a couple things that I posted. I talked about self-sabotage. I talked about literally you placing your own limitations on yourself, right? Not other people. We're not talking about other people placing limitations on you. We're talking about you placing limitations on yourself. Hey, Dr. J, I love you. And so I just want to say the climate, you all, of what God is doing right now. When it says Ephesians 3:20, more than you can ever think or imagine, we're in that hour. I know, y'all, I know there's a lot of things going on right now. I know that, there's, hey David Bynum, hey, how you doing? I ain't seen you in a long time from Periscope days. I know there's a lot going on. I know they're talking about recession. I know they're talking about famine. I know they're talking about these different viruses and the monkeypox. But listen, if you believe, this is a time in which the things that you've been praying to God for, listen, you cannot get distracted. Y'all put in your comments for me, believe. People look at me and they try to figure out, how does she do all the stuff that she do? You know, how is she making these moves? It's because, y'all, I believe the word of God. But at the same time, Pastor Ken Henderson, I just left from his service here in Houston with Lighthouse, where his sermon was titled, I'm Only Human, y'all. So there are going to be times when, even in your belief and even on you standing on the word of God and trusting and believing, there's going to come a time when it says, when the attacks and the different things start wreaking havoc at your door, when the storms of life are crashing up against you, and you can't see past that moment that you're in. That's where you're going to need to believe. That's where you're going to need to keep standing, right? That's when you're going to have to have your both feet planted on the ground. That's when you cannot self-sabotage. That's when you cannot abort the promise. That's when you cannot give up. You have to just keep going, and you have to tell the enemy and all the lies from the enemy, devil, you are a liar. You will not steal my promise. You will not delay my promise. And I'm talking about self-doubt, self-limitations, self-sabotage. And so I need you all to just lock in and just believe and stand on the word of God. And I'm telling you, because the climate in which we're in, I'm telling you, we are in a supernatural hour. We're in a time that if you believe, God is going to do it. And I'm talking about big. Y'all put big in your comments. I'm talking about big. I'm not talking about the little the stuff that you was believing God for 2-3 years ago. I'm talking about the things that you are still believing God for now. I'm not talking about the times where you were getting a drip drop blessing, where you got a blessing and then another blessing showed up 6 months later, and then another blessing showed up a year later. I'm talking about the overflow. I'm talking about blessings being released. I'm talking about the things that you have prayed for. I'm talking about the things that have been stored up for you. It's been stored up for you, and it is big if you believe. If you believe, if you believe, if you trust God, if you trust the promise of God, if you trust the word of God, believe. There's one thing it say believe. Listen, y'all, it's prophetic. It says, believe the prophet and you shall prosper. Believe the prophet and you shall prosper. Y'all know I don't just pop up on here. I don't be just on here saying anything. I don't just get on here to do routines. I'm not that girl. But I'm telling you, when God tell me to release a word, I release the word. And so that was just heavy on me. There's some things that I am believing God for. And listen, y'all, they're manifesting. They're manifesting, and they're manifesting quick. They're manifesting quick. And when God begins to do things for you, listen, you may have to pivot. You may have to adjust. You may have to do an about face. You may have to say, wow, I thought I was on this path, but wow, God, I hear you. I need to do an about face. I need to go in another direction. I hear you, God, so you're sending me another route. What does it say when you're listening, you're listening in your GPS and you're driving and there's a direction. Well, listen, I want to say that God is directing your path. And some of us, we just think we know the way. We think we know the route. And God is allowing the GPS to say, reroute. Go the other way. Go, make a left turn right here. Stop right here. Go down that road. Say yes to that opportunity. Say no to that. I'm telling y'all, listen. Believe God. Believe what he's doing. Believe his promise. Believe his word. And don't delay. Don't self-sabotage. Don't delay. Move when God tells you to move. It is critical to move when God tells you to move. Don't miss this hour. Don't miss the release that is happening right now for you. You've prayed for it. You've cried for it. You've labored for it. You've sacrificed for it. You've been obedient for it. It's yours. It's yours now. Y'all put in comments now. I need you to come into agreement with this word right now. Put now in your comments now. I need you to believe now. Believe right now. Believe right now. Stand on this word right now. Put it in your comments. If y'all come watch this replay, put it in your comments. Come into agreement. We're going to stand together in agreement. Where 2 or 3 are gathered together. We're going to use this social media platform. We're going to use this live to come into agreement now. Now. Thank you. Y'all put it up there. Now. I'm touching agreeing with you right now for the promise on your life. I'm touching and agreeing with you right now for what you're believing God for. I'm touching and agreeing with you right now for your Ephesians 3:20. I'm touching and agreeing with you right now for your Jeremiah 29:11 plan. I'm touching and agreeing with you for where you had doubt. I'm touching and agreeing with you where you were trying to self-sabotage and you was trying to abort. I'm coming to agreement with you for you to believe right now that God is answering your prayers and God is moving and God is doing what you've been praying and crying to him and believing him for right now. Okay, I love y'all. I love y'all. God is, he's elevating me. He's enlarging my territory. My assignments are changing. My companies are changing. The way that I move is changing. But listen, I trust God. I trust God because the things, there is going to be a shifting. And whenever there's shifting and whenever there's things that are happening that you're not familiar with, it feels uncomfortable, y'all. It feels like there's a stripping away, but the stripping away is for your good. It's because of elevation. Elevation is here. Promotion is here. Your circles are changing. Your influences are changing. the doors the doors in which are opening for you, they're changing. I remember at a time, one thing about me, this is my 14th year, next month it'll be 14 years. One thing about me, I never chased after things prematurely, y'all, because I just really felt like, I truly felt like I don't want to move too fast. I don't want to go somewhere that I'm not prepared for. God has not prepared me for somewhere where I'm trying to go. I never believed in just self-promotion. And now opportunities, my phone just ring and my email, things just show up in my email. And what they say, after a while, it'll come knocking on your door. After a while, y'all, it'll come knocking at your door. If you stay on that path, God will bring you into enlargement. God will enlarge your territory. God will make your name great. These are the benefits. These are the things that he has said. And we've come into that time now, because one thing about him, there's suffering, but God said those who suffer with him will also reign with him. That means that God has a reward stored up for you. God has reward stored up for you. Just believe. That's your action right now. Faith without works is dead. I want your faith right now to be believe. I want your faith word right now in your spirit to say, I believe, and I need you to believe in the now, in the present, right now. And watch God do it. Watch God do it. Watch God do it. Because you're standing on his word. You're standing on his promise. You trust him. What they say, I trust him when I can't trace him. Listen, y'all. If I trust him, I ain't got to trace him. If I trust him, I ain't got to trace him. So listen. Y'all know God's gonna have me bust out with something, right? If you trust him, you ain't gotta trace him. Just trust him. Let your faith word right now be believe. God, I believe everything that you told me. I believe every vision that you showed me. I believe every dream that you've given me, that you planted in my spirit. I believe. And when something about believe, when you believe, it's going to trigger something in you. When you believe, it's going to trigger a series of actions. And then God said, wow, because they didn't say they just believe me. When they said they believe me, it turned into another form of action and another form of action. And they started doing, and they started going, and they started signing the papers in faith, and they started walking in faith, and they started purchasing the buildings in faith. And they began to do a series of action that is propelling you closer to the promise. Okay? So I love y'all. I hope to be able to do some more lives. Continue to pray for me. Listen, because I'm standing on the word believe. That's what I'm doing. I'm standing on the word believe. And I keep saying this. You all talk about miracles, signs, and wonders. You are the miracle. You are the sign. You are the wonder. What you praying for is you. You are the miracle. You are the sign. You are the wonder. Let me give you evidence of how you know that you're the wonder. When people try to figure out how you doing what you're doing, when people trying to figure out your bank account, when people trying to figure out your every move, when people trying to figure out how you go and how you do, that right there is your evidence that God has made you a wonder. Okay? So I love y'all. I love y'all. My sister, she don't like this black lipstick, y'all. I'm turning up on my makeup, y'all. I'm watching tutorials and everything. Now that Naya done left me. Y'all. But listen, I'm walking in this thing. What they say, one of my good friends, Apostle Yolanda Adams, said, walk heavy, y'all. I'm walking heavy in this thing. I'm walking heavy in believe. I am believing. And so I love y'all. And I pray this word has blessed you. I pray this word has set you up for this week, not just this week, for the rest of this quarter, for the rest of this year. I'm leveling up. And what is your leveling up? Is that you believe. You believe the word of God. You believe the promise of God. Words create worlds. That's what Dr. Alexis Manson said. Words create worlds. And I'm telling you right now, your action of just simply believing, coming to agreement with God, is going to move you in the now to that thing that you're believing God for. Okay? I love y'all. I hope to be back in touch soon. God bless. Bye-bye.